Hi, I'm Gavin Carlson, and this is Out of Bounds, Daily Bruin Sports Podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Out of Bounds, the official sports podcast of the Daily Bruin. As always, I'm your host, Gavin Carlson, a fourth-year sports staff writer here at the Daily Bruin. And as you can see, if you're on our YouTube channel, we have two first-time guests for this episode. We're talking women's basketball, and so I have last year's editors for the women's basketball beat at the Daily Bruin, and now two senior sports staff writers. Lauryn, Wang, how are you doing? Welcome to the pod.
I'm swell. I just came off a YRL nap. Feeling nice and fresh, ready for this debut.
Swell. I love it. And we have the other senior sports staff writer, Miss Grace Whitaker. How are you doing? Welcome to the pod.
I'm great. Thanks for having me, Gavin.
Heck yes. We're very excited. We're doing a little women's basketball sort of preview. It feels like this is the most exciting season in a while for UCLA women's basketball for a multitude of reasons. Charisma Osborne, one of the greatest Bruins of all time, is back. Lauryn Betts transfers from Stanford to UCLA. So many exciting storylines, and also the fact that the anticipation for this team is sky high. I don't think they've been this high in the way too early rankings in a while. They're number 3 according to ESPN. Yep. So very exciting season for Cori Close and the Bruins. We're going to start by talking about Charisma Osborne returning to this team. Obviously, like I said, one of the best players in the history of the program. It was a surprise when she said she was coming back. We were all preparing for her to say she was declaring. We'll start with Lauryn. Just what were your thoughts when you heard that Charisma Osborne was coming back? I'm sure it was a surprise to you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, she'd already spoken to us about, in the media, about donning the UCLA jersey for the last time. And then April 5th, she announces on Twitter that she's returning for her 5th year. Obviously, the COVID year of eligibility really opened up that new avenue for her and Cameron Brown as well to come back for 5th years. I think it's just such good news for the team in terms of having the veteran leadership and their anchor back. And I think along with Lauryn Betts, I think she's one of the main reasons they're ranked so high in the early poll.
Yeah, I talked to her before one of the practices like a month ago, and she basically said she didn't know she was coming back either. She kind of just randomly, I think she said she had a conversation with Cori Close and said, hey, I'm thinking about coming back, and Cori was kind of like, it's up to you. Obviously, we'd love to have you.
Yeah.
And so I think with her back, she's going to be one of the best scorers in the country, certainly the Pac-12, one of the best leaders. But not only is she coming back, Cam Brown as well. Grace, just what do you think she's going to add to the team coming back? Feels like she's been here forever and gone through so many injuries, but it's nice to see her healthy and back with the Bruins once again.
Right. I think Cam Brown is very underrated for the Bruins. She obviously isn't really leading on any stats, but she started all season. I think she's really important in moving the ball, in other stats like rebounding, assists, everything like that, and also defensively. So I think she's going to be huge for the team and just being that other piece, because now they've got so many leading scorers, so many important people in that piece. But I think she's another really important aspect of the team. Yeah,
and I think you said it perfectly. Not going to lead in any stat, but I know Cori has her favorite stat. You know, what does she call it? Kills?
Passion plays.
Oh,
passion plays. Yeah, so I think Cam Brown's always at the top in the passion plays category. And I know how much Cori loves to have her. And the outside fan might, like you said, see the box score, not see much from Cam Brown and wonder why she's starting games, wonder why she's playing so many minutes. But players like her are the reason why teams win, right? They're underrated, they're not appreciated. And so it'll be interesting to see with another year of experience under her belt, if she maybe grew in some other aspects of her game, but we know what she's going to do defensively and leadership-wise. So that transitions to our first question. This episode is going to be a little interesting. We're all going to kind of give our opinions, our answers to a couple questions previewing this season for UCLA women's basketball. And the first one being, who is UCLA's most important player in 2023? There's a lot of candidates, Charisma Osborne, of course, Kiki Rice. Is it Lauryn Betts? Is it Gabriela Jaquez? We'll start with Grace. Who do you have as the most important player for UCLA in 2023?
Okay, I have someone new. I think it's going to be Lauryn Betts.
Wow.
I think UCLA has had so much success on the guard front, but the thing that they've really been lacking, especially in important games against tall teams, is height. Yeah. I mean, they gave up so many points in the paint against South Carolina and Stanford and led to some big losses. So I think adding her in, I mean, she averaged a double-double in high school. Her last 2 years, she averaged a double-double in the AmeriCup. I think her rebounding, her scoring in the paint is so important and going to be a really important aspect of this team.
Yeah, that's a great call. I think a lot of people are excited, like you said, really something that we haven't had in Westwood in a while. I know we had Lauryn Miller. I know Christine Wall is a very tall person in her own right, Emily Bessoir, but I think Lauren Betts could add a whole nother aspect to this team. What about you, Lauren? Who is your most important player?
Gotta be Charisma Osborne.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a given, right? Like, leading scorer last year, led in minutes, led in steals. I think that she also always talks about, you know, on the defensive end, the sort of prowess that she brings to the table there.
Yeah.
So it's not only the stats on the offensive end. I think that all around this summer in the Team USA, playing with Lauryn, they developed their chemistry there. Obviously, that's a huge advantage coming into this season. But you know, I'm sure she has her goal set for this season. She's going to be entering the draft, and it's going to be sort of a really big tell for where she ends up after March.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's certainly the easiest one, you know, take to have.
Okay, Gavin.
Not like, I think no.
I know.
It's the fairest one, right? Like it's Charisma Osborne.
Okay,
She's
what's your take? What's your take?
I have Kiki Rice.
Okay, fair. Also fair.
Another fair take. Yeah. Another easy take.
I love this. This is gonna be for anyone who watched the football pod episodes. This is the dynamic here. It's peak. This is better.
Oh, okay.
Joseph and Jack are gonna be disappointed. I have Kiki Rice, and the reason why is I think it's hard for Charisma to really take a leap. I think like
she's already elite.
And what she provides to the team has been there for many years. Sure, the points average has gone up a little bit. Sure, she's become a better defender. I know last year I think it was a lot about her becoming a leader.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she made it clear she didn't want to be the point guard of this team. She wanted to be the off guard. And Kiki Rice comes in. We know all the anticipation. One of the highest recruits ever. Gatorade Player of the Year. Comes in, has a phenomenal freshman season. And there's some games where she was the leader. I think back to that Stanford game in the Pac-12 tournament. She was hitting the free throws at the end. She was, kickstarting runs. Yeah. And so I think it'll be really interesting to see how those two continue to grow in their relationship, Kiki and Charisma, and how they both respond to having another threat in the paint in Lauren Betts. But yeah, we'll transition now. Like I said, I think this is going to be fun. I like this dynamic. This is going to be fun. We talked about the new player in Lauren Betts and what she'll bring, but UCLA is also bringing in Amanda Muse, a All-American, McDonald's All-American, from actually my roommate's high school. Not that anyone cares about that, but from the East Bay.
That Brentwood.
Yes, not SoCal Brentwood, East Bay Brentwood.
Got it. Okay.
What's interesting with Amanda Muse is that a very tall, very skilled post player, kind of similar to Lauren Betts in terms of height being a huge aspect. Not similar to Emily Bessoir, who's sort of become more of a perimeter player. But it's going to be kind of interesting to see how much time she actually gets. I think on a lot of teams, you have a highly coveted recruit come in, and they're getting Kiki Rice starting every game, being one of the most important players. I don't think it's going to be like that for Amanda Muse just because of how many players are coming back for UCLA, how strong the roster is. What do you think her role is going to be, Lauren? Do you think she's going to play under 10 minutes a game, or
probably under? I feel like with Lauren Betts, if she starts in the paint as the 5, Amanda's going to be competing for 4 with Gabriela Jaquez, with Christina Walla, with Lena Sontag. And honestly, Lena, I think, is like the defensive X factor for this team. Maybe hot take, maybe not. Okay, maybe hot take.
Let her cook.
Yeah, I'm cooking. But I really think there were a couple games, sorry, off topic from Amanda, but where Lena really displayed that, like, she can ship momentum, blocking, and she led the team in blocks last season.
Yeah.
And so for Amanda, it's really for her to get minutes, she's gonna have to outcompete and demonstrate to Cori that she's more valuable on the court. In certain instances than Gabriella, Christine, Lena, and so
Emily.
And Emily now. I mean, honestly, Emily's like, it's so deep.
Yeah.
I didn't include Emily in originally because I was like, she's really developing her perimeter.
Yeah.
And so for her in London, I feel like that's going to be also key.
Yeah.
Them hitting those deep threes. But Yeah, I think under 10 minutes. I mean, she has time. Like this team is going to be deep for a long time, even after Charisma and Cam Brown leave. What do you think, Grace?
Yeah, I kind of agree with you. I was trying to think about this one, but I feel like we're really not going to know until we see her on the court. I think the forwards that UCLA has, they're all so different in their playing styles. True. And so she could play a little bit more like Emily with some 3-point shooting, or she could play a little more like Christine and be very in the paint. So I think it'll be really interesting to see how it unfolds in the first few games.
It's a good problem to have for Cori Close. I feel like
compared to 2 seasons ago, 3 seasons ago.
Ever since we've been here, we're both seniors. We've been covering this team for a while.
All 3 seniors.
That's what I say. I said we're both. You're both seniors, and I'm a senior. I'm saving myself right now. We've been covering this team for a while, and the biggest weakness has always been depth. There's been COVID. There's been injuries. There's been not being able to have international players come over. And we're forgetting forwards because there's so many forwards.
Yeah, so many forwards.
Yeah, it's a great problem to have for Cori Close. Totally. It'll be interesting to see how she deploys everyone. I know last year she had more depth than she's ever had, and she kind of said she was going to press a lot, have a lot of people coming in and out. And we saw it. There'd be games where like 45 seconds would go by and there'd already be a sub. Like she's going to have fun, I think, getting all these players in, rotating them in. And the schedule is hard kind of right away. So she's not going to really have time to like play weak opponents and figure it out. They're going to be I think they play UConn to like early
almost
November.
Immediately, yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how Cori deploys all of her weapons, but I know she's excited that she has them all. Now we're going to transition to who's going to take the biggest leap this season. I know we've had some takes already.
That was my take.
Is it Lena?
Bars. I don't. What else do I say?
Is it Lena?
It's Lena.
I like it.
Yeah, I just think. I mean, she played this summer for Team Germany, a couple different tournaments, one with Emily Bessoir. And honestly, the way the coaches talk about her, she's so versatile. Like she, coming in from international team where in Germany, she's not the tallest player, right? Like
she's a guard, basically.
She was a guard.
Yeah.
And that's why she had the most personal fouls on her last season.
Yeah.
Because you're adjusting to like being a post player, adjusting to different refereeing styles in the United States.
Right.
I think there's just so much potential in her that I see. And she really helped spread the floor, which is great. I mean, it was great last year. I think it's less of a factor this year because of how much depth we have and how much size. But I really think that, like I said, she can shift momentum like with the drop of a hat. And so I'm really excited to see where that takes UCLA.
What about you, Grace?
I'm going to go with London Jones.
Oh.
She was UCLA's spark off the bench last season, first player off the bench.
Yeah.
And she had a successful freshman year. I mean, she had some 20-plus point performances, but it was kind of when they got into the Pac-12 tournament and the playoffs when her point averages started to go down a little bit.
She struggled a little bit, for sure.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But I think she's really going to step it up this year, and I think honestly, there's probably a starting position open that I feel like maybe she won't start right off the bat, but I feel like she could earn it as the season goes on.
A little foreshadowing
she
from
had
Grace.
One start, right? What did it last season?
She did. Well, Charisma missed a game and she stepped in. I think it was the Oregon State game.
19 points. Most 3-pointers.
She was phenomenal for most of the regular season. Like you said, she struggled a bit at the end. But
yeah, and also with Gina Conti leaving, I think
that's a slot.
That's a role that was important last season, and I think Kiki is going to fill a lot of that. But I also think London has a shot to fill some of that as well.
Because Gina did contribute on the 3-point end.
Yeah.
In the Pac-12s, we saw some critical threes.
And just being a veteran, there was a lot of new faces that year. So I think, Kiki's going to have to step in and be more of a veteran role. Charisma, we know what she is as a veteran returning. So we had London and Lena. I was going to say Lauryn Betts, but I'm Lauryn Wang, breaking news. She's on the team.
I walked on.
I'm going to change my mind, though. I'm going to go Gabriella Jaquez.
Really?
And it's foreshadowing because the next question is going to be how we have our starting lineup. I'll just tell you right now, I have Gabriella in it.
Oh.
And I think
right away?
Yes. I think she provides something that nobody else on the team really provides, and that's like this wing scoring threat. You have a lot of guards, Charisma, Kiki coming off screens as ball handlers. London, same thing. You have post players, Lauryn, Emily, Lena, 3-point shooters. But like, who else on the team can really like catch the ball at the wing and like take one dribble, take a pull-up jumper, get to the paint, finish a layup, kind of do everything while also being a great defender. So I have Gabriella as taking the biggest leap. I mean, we'll just transition right now. Give me your starting lineups. Who's it going to be the first game of the season, and then who's it going to be at the end of the season? Does it change for you guys?
Oh, okay. Do you want to go?
Well,
yeah,
okay.
go for it.
I think
Beginning of the season.
we all know it's going to be
who are the
Charisma,
you're on for?
Lauryn Betts, Kiki Rice, and Emily Bessoir.
Yeah.
I think.
Do we all know that?
I think
Okay,
it's going to
we
be
do.
those 4. But
Get in the loop, Gavin.
okay.
There's no way you don't think it's anybody else.
Okay, we'll see.
Okay,
we'll
sorry.
see. We'll
Okay,
see.
okay.
Who's your fifth?
At the beginning, I think it's going to be Cameron Brown. I think she's going to go with the experience. Cori's going to go with the experience, with the veteran, with someone. They've got so many scorers on the floor. I think it's going to be someone who can bring in that ability to move the ball. But I think as the season goes on, it's going to be either London or Gabriella. I could really see it being London.
So you say London.
Yeah.
Have a stance that we
London.
can hold you to for
London.
the entire season. By the end of the season, Grace Whitaker from the Daily Bruin
You heard
says
it
that
here
London
first.
Jones will be a starter for the UCLA Bruins.
5-3.
Okay.
5-3, by the way.
5-3,
She's
number
breaking
3
barriers.
for the
5
Bruins.
Yes.
Starter.
So true.
What about you, Lauren?
Okay.
Since you have the same 4, I assume.
Same four staples. Charisma, Emily, Kiki, Lauryn Betts.
Okay.
I think by the end of the season, I'm a huge Angela Dugalich fan.
She's an everyone fan.
I'm a big Force fan. I don't know.
No,
'Cause
hey, I
Forza,
respect it. I
or-
respect it.
Yeah.
I respect it.
Wow.
Okay, so by the end of the season, I see Angela being in there. I mean, she played
That's a hot
17.
take.
She
That is a
played
hot take.
17 minutes 2
Yeah.
seasons ago.
Yeah.
And she's on the more experienced side besides, being on the court, but she's like older in terms of years playing on the collegiate level. I feel
Yeah.
like she had that 1 year at Oregon. She came to UCLA. I mean, she seems very integrated with the team because she had 1 season to play. I feel like she's itching to be back.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah. So
So
that's
wait,
my
that's
take.
beginning of the season?
That's end.
End. What do you have beginning?
I mean, she's just come back from injury. I don't
That's
think
true.
she'll get the immediate start. I don't know. I'm undecided. I don't mean to like waffle or anything. But
Call it.
She's waffling.
I'm waffling. What do I do? The pressure, the lights.
Is
okay.
it Cam Brown?
No, it's not Cam Brown. That's a hot take.
That she's going to start the season? I don't think that's a hot take.
I don't think it is either.
Okay. There's so many other options now, I feel like.
Well, Lauren,
okay.
what do you say?
And I can't choose.
She's
That's
waffling. She's
Oh,
waffling. It's her first episode. She's
Oh my
nervous.
God.
I'm cracking under the pressure.
Just pick a name.
Okay, pick a name.
that we can hold you to.
First one that came to my mind. Okay. Christine.
Christina Wall is going to start. Okay, fair enough. No, I just think it doesn't really fit because there's already
it's
like
a little bit of a toss up.
there's a lot of tall
Lauren's
players.
been full of the hot takes today.
Hey,
Wow.
Hey,
Okay.
I like it.
I brought the heat. I brought
This
the
is what we want. We
controversy.
want the
Okay, good.
energy. We want the hot takes.
Don't come for me in the comments. I'm afraid of that. Okay.
Don't come for them in the comments. Be nice to them. It's their first episode. Leave that for Jack and Joseph.
Yeah.
My starting lineup, I gave you all that, and I have the same 4.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's what we thought. Okay.
Kiki Rice, Charisma Osborne,
Mhm.
a mystery at the 3 spot, Emily Bessoir, who I think is
Who could be arguably.
underrated every season, came back from injury, looked
Totally,
fantastic,
so good.
especially in the tournament. And then I
Yeah.
do think Lauryn Betts, at the beginning of the season, it's going to be Gabriela Jaquez. At the end of the season, it's going to
Angela.
be Gabriela Jaquez. That's my hot take.
Oh.
I think Cori loves Gabriela Jaquez. I think she's going to start the season at the 3. I think she's going to
Interesting.
finish the season at the 3. And I think she's going to do the job. I don't know. That's my take. That's my take. Let me cook.
Fascinating.
Let me
okay,
cook.
he's cooking. He bought the ingredients. He's cooking.
Last question. So we get out of here on time. Wait,
Let's do
shout out
this.
to the camera lady. I keep forgetting to
Yes.
shout out Zoë Busenberg
out.
behind the camera.
Oh, she's killing it.
Yeah. So we are going to do one last question.
Okay.
It's not really a question. It's just more broad. Expectations.
Mm-mm.
What should this team accomplish? They haven't won a Pac-12 title in the 21st century. They haven't been to the Elite 8 ever.
Yeah,
So-
they haven't. Yeah.
Do either of those things happen this year? We'll start with Grace.
Yes.
Both? One?
One of the Pac-12 titles, whether it be the tournament or the conference.
That's like a smart way to
And-
like finagle your way to a safe but still
Yeah,
bold take.
well-
That was smart.
Well, I don't think they're going to win both.
Okay.
Because, I mean,
Really?
USC and Stanford and Utah, there's a lot of
Utah.
really good teams in the Pac-12. But anyways, I'm saying Final Four. I'm
Oh.
going to say it.
Woo!
So she starts with like I thought that was the hot take, and then she's like, hold
She's
this.
like,
I am going to say it. I think we won't really know until we see them compete against someone like UConn or
Yeah.
South Carolina or something like
Yeah.
that. But I think with the depth of this team and all the different pieces, if they can figure out a way to put it all together, I think this is their best shot.
I mean, they're starting in the top 4 of the early rankings,
Exactly.
Yeah.
so
They're the number 1 seed in the.
Yeah, I want to hold you to it though, because we hold people.
We're going to Portland.
No. So she has Final Four, but tell me right now, are they winning the regular season championship or the tournament? You got to pick one.
I think the tournament. I think they're going to come back with a vengeance. After
Okay, so then who wins the
losing.
Pac-12 in the regular season? Stanford?
Utah.
No. Okay, I think opposite.
I love this. This is great. See, they have hot takes. This is great.
Yeah, we're not bandwagoning out here.
What do you say?
Okay, flip flop of grace. I think they're going to win the regular season. I think they have like the sort of longevity to do that.
The depth,
I feel like
right?
the depth, and if injuries come up,
they have
not going to be an issue.
Yeah.
I think Pac-12 tournament is so obviously very unpredictable.
Yeah.
We were there last year when they
and that was the most
Stanford.
unpredictable one I think in the history of the tournament or something.
And then Stanford exits the March Madness in the second round. But anyways, I think that even if they can't clinch that, they'll be able to make it far in March Madness. I think.
How far?
How far? We're holding people to it.
I'm gonna say it. Final Four.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
2 Final Fours.
The Pac-12 is so competitive as it is. They're just gonna have so much training in the regular season. I mean, they have 9 teams in the way too early bracket.
Yeah.
Come on, that's the most of any conference. Rest in peace, Pac-12. But this is, was that? Did I not say that?
No, you could say.
Oh, okay.
Rest in peace, Pac-12.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Okay, no, you didn't. Okay, but that's what I'm thinking. I feel like the rigor of the regular season is just going to help propel them beyond their wildest dreams.
Oh,
woo!
Just amazing. I am going to say, I've been on the fence.
Okay, hop over it.
Give us a hot take.
I think they are not going to win the Pac-12.
Which?
Either.
They're going to win. They're going to win the tournament.
But not the regular season.
I like how this team plays in tournaments. They showed it last year.
Okay.
You know what? I'm going to change my mind right here on the spot. They're winning both.
F it, we ball.
Whoa.
They ball.
They're winning both, but my hot take is that they're only going to the Elite Eight.
Who are they going to lose to?
I mean, we don't know who they're going to play in the tournament.
Just say something.
I have to predict the whole NCAA season. My prediction is that UCLA will lose 68-65 in the Elite Eight. No, I don't know. I think Elite Eight. I think
even that is.
That's an accomplishment.
Yeah.
They've never done it. But I just think when you have the South Carolinas, the LSUs, the UConns, the teams that are always there, there's something to be said about always being there and just having the experience.
Legacy.
So I think if they go up against any of those type of powerhouse programs, the experience is going to help them. But there's so much more to come from this program. Obviously, they'll lose Charisma Osborne, but a lot of the core will still be there. And so it's not like this is do or die. But yeah. Great episode.
Thank you so much
for having us.
Of course.
I'm still swell after all of this.
The first of many.
Better.
The first of many. We are very excited to be talking about women's basketball all season. So, as always, if you watch the football episodes, you know how this goes. Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, if you want to only listen to it. But we have guests that look way better than Joseph and Jack, by the way. So if you want to watch the actual video, UCLA Daily Bruin YouTube channel. We're going to have women's basketball podcast episodes all season long. The energy was great. I hope you enjoyed. Take care. Thanks so much. Any closing statements?
5 weeks till tip-off. Let's go.
She might have just dated the pod. We'll see when we release it.
Oh, shoot.
You're good. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
Let us cook all season long. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Goodbye.
Woo-hoo!